Hello, everybody. Welcome to the show. Mike and T-Roy is here. What up, T?
Hey, buddy.
How are you, pal?
I'm fine. How about yourself?
I'm doing okay. I'm in this weird position with my back. I don't even know if it's back pain anymore. It's more like straight ass pain.
Okay.
Like it's just moving slowly, like at a snail's pace down my back. And now it's just this throbbing, weird ass pain.
Okay.
I need to get fisted in my ass again.
I think that's what you're missing.
I think it
your
is.
ass is yearning for the fist.
Yeah. Yep.
Seems
Thumb
to be.
and fist.
Yep. You're having fist withdrawals.
I think that's exactly what I'm having. Luckily for me, I have a scheduled fisting on Friday.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Good for you.
But,
Yeah, that's where the fist goes.
no, this one's with one T, not two T's. Sorry to throw you off there.
Good.
But we have the show with 3G, Greg Henson, on Friday, and my aunt is in town for the first time since my uncle passed away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and so we've got dinner Friday, so it's like a whole thing. So I'm going to have to move some things, and I think I'm going to have to move my fisting appointment.
Oh, boy.
That's really the only one I can move.
You can't work a fisting in during the day, perhaps?
You know what? It's a time like right when we're going to be doing the show.
Oh, man.
And so
Unbelievable.
And the guy that does the guy that's fisted my butt before and does such an amazing job of it. He's only got small windows. You know, he's very, very popular for obvious
Big
reasons.
hands, small windows.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And strong fists too. Thumbs, elbows, fists, the whole
Does it
works.
get to twist when you get in there,
Oh
too?
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
excellent.
yeah. Sometimes he'll even
Oh,
with his
that's
fingers.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very nice. Very nice. So I might have to rearrange that and try to get on his schedule so he can get into my
Maybe you
ass
get lucky and there'll be a
soon.
cancellation.
Yeah, that would be nice. But he's the owner of the place. So his time is sparse. There's multiple
Sure.
locations.
Well,
and
then he
whatnot.
should be a bit more flexible, I would think.
Yeah. He's trying
makes
to
the
make me
rules.
more flexible. And but yeah, it's just if you see me shifting in my seat, that's why.
Not squeaking out farts.
No, I'm not squeaking out farts. I'm just
Okay.
desperate for a fist in my butt.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Duly noted.
Yeah. I woke up in a good mood. My Niners looked good last night.
Yeah, that was a win-win.
Yeah.
A double fucking winner because your Niners won and the Rams lost.
Yes.
Not only for your division, but also for
Yeah.
our draft pick.
Exactly.
They're lining up just like I saw.
So wait, yeah, we want the Rams to lose as much as possible.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
Dude,
I hope they have the
they're
worst
2-2.
team. Yeah, I hope they're the worst team in the league.
They have not looked all that good. Here's the deal. Stafford has one weapon. Cup, he's on target for 179 targets this year,
Yeah.
which would break the record by like 40.
Yeah.
But that's not going to work. Teams will be able to just
You
take
start
one
shutting
guy.
them down, exactly.
Yeah,
Now they're
yeah.
getting that tape on them.
How nice would that be? Can you imagine if coming off the Super Bowl, the Rams just flopped
Yes.
and had a 6-win season?
God, that'd be amazing.
How great would that be
that
for
would
the
be perfect.
Lions?
That's the ideal situation. So.
Yeah. And the Lions go 1-16 like you want them to?
Yep. I know they already screwed
We
up
get the first
1-1,
and the
but-
second round pick in the draft, 1 and 2.
Yeah, that might happen.
Oh,
at least 2 in the top 10 or top 15 would be unbelievable.
Yeah. Now, would you want to use both of those top 15s where they are, or package them and take number 1?
Completely depends on who's out
Yeah.
there. And no, I would not. I would use them both because you need more depth than
Yeah.
one. Unless there's one absolute stud.
Yeah.
That's a can't miss coming out. But I don't know. It's too early
Well,
to predict
J.J.
the draft.
McCarthy.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you imagine
Quarterback of the
if
future.
he turns out to just be?
Well, I haven't seen too much, but he looks like he's human. over this
Well,
last
he's
couple
young.
weeks. I know.
He's young, but he's getting experience at it, playing in front of 110,000. He's.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know.
We'll see, but
We'll see.
I don't see him being the number 1 pick in the draft.
No, I don't either. But
Anywhere near.
Yeah. Anyway, how was your day, sir? Good day at work.
Fine.
Fucking beautiful out. Is this
Nice.
considered crisscross applesauce summer?
I do not know. No. This
No?
is not even. No.
Are we allowed to say Indian summer anymore?
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
No, I was informed that Indian summer there has to be a frost before you can technically have an Indian summer.
Really?
Yeah, and I don't know if there's a temperature. Minimum temperature you have to reach to be considered an Indian summer. It was only low 70s today. It wasn't. That's not like
71.
yeah,
75 tomorrow.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's still just early October.
Yeah.
I mean, I can remember how trick or treating in shorts and short sleeves sometimes.
Yeah.
And also in fucking when it's snowing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it can be either way, but this isn't totally out of the norm.
You know where they're not going to be trick or treating this
is
year?
pretty average, I think, for this time of year.
You think so?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I was thinking. Well, it's been so cold lately.
Yeah.
The last few
We just
days
had
it's gotten
that
cold.
Yeah, we had that little cold snap, but that was unseasonably cold. We were like 10 degrees below the
Okay.
average.
All right. So that's something to look forward to.
Yeah, see?
Indian summer could be upcoming.
Could still get another one.
I love it.
Excellent.
I wonder what happens to trick or treating in Florida this year. For the kiddies. I mean,
I don't know.
As far as going house to house.
Yeah, well, they have a kayak.
Yeah, you could kayak house to house.
Row your boat house to house. I think the water will be gone by then.
You know what I was thinking, by the way, for this upcoming season? I drove past a house in the sub, and they had pumpkins out on the porch.
Uh-huh.
I want to carve pumpkins this year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right.
You up?
Sure.
I mean,
got a couple ideas.
There's some dope ideas out there that you can do, and we've had listeners in the past do really cool ones. Like I don't know how they do that.
Yeah.
They get a picture of you, and then they.
Yeah, you can stencil
Shave
it on
them
there or
weird.
whatever, and then
Yeah.
there's an art to it.
But we should do some. Dude, I always think of that picture of me, you, Dreyer, and Ed.
Yeah, carving pumpkins.
Carving pumpkins, drinking BLDs in the basement. It's my favorite picture.
It's a great
of
picture.
all our pictures growing
Pure
up. 'Cause
joy.
The joy on all of our faces is so genuine and pure, you can tell. And I don't even know who took that picture.
No idea.
None of us are paying attention to the camera.
Nope, we're
and
just
it's
carving pumpkins,
The
man.
four of us all with knives in our hands and pumpkins and beers. And
I would love
laughing.
to see what those 4 pumpkins turned out to be.
Oh, my God. Yeah. Dude, that's a good question. I have no idea.
Not even a clue.
No.
But I would love to see what we
Not that
created.
it mattered.
No, but I would love to see what we
Yeah.
did, what we came up with.
Yeah. But I could see it in our future, T, doing, getting the baking sheet out and doing the seeds, the
Yeah,
pumpkin seeds
sure.
salted.
And
And
you can have all those.
yeah, I didn't want them, but
No.
it's just something nostalgic, I
Sure.
think of. You know what I mean? For
Okay.
that type of season.
All right.
But we get a couple, maybe a big one, couple small ones, medium ones, and do some carving.
Okay.
All right.
I'm up for it.
Yeah, excellent. We got to do something Grateful Dead.
Okay. I did
Steal
I've
Your
done a
Face
couple.
something?
Yeah, I did a Steely one year that was pretty good. It's tough to,
Yeah. The detail.
the detail to really get into it. It was there, but and then I did like the bears. The outlines of the dancing bears.
Oh, yeah,
like
yeah,
all
yeah.
4 of them like going around. Like,
Yeah.
that one turned
That
out
would
pretty
be
good.
sweet.
Yeah, they weren't great because of that fine detail. Of trying to get like
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm
ears and
talking
shit.
about. And maybe listeners can email in, walters@detroitcast.com. They did some of our faces that were so like
when you're good, you can.
No, but I don't think they're that good. I think they're using something that, and maybe just like shaving part of it, like I don't know.
There's ways you can let light through,
Right,
Things like
right.
that. Yeah. There's
So-
techniques, definitely.
But they're too good of an image to be just like, oh yeah, some guy carved this looking at a picture.
Yeah.
Like
well,
no.
it's not just. I mean, it's not free-handed. But I'm
No.
sure it's the images transposed onto the pumpkin, and then you
Right.
do it through like that. But
Yeah. So I'd like to do that. Maybe a Motley Crue one. Maybe that's a little too obvious for me. A TDC one.
of course,
TDC Podcast with that
Classic.
logo would
Yeah.
be cool. I would encourage listeners to do the same.
Yeah.
We'd gladly post those with the
we could
show.
definitely do the. Yeah. We could definitely do that.
Would that work? I'm trying to think of the
Yeah.
logo offhand. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I can totally see it.
Yeah.
Here, let me flip it over there for you.
Yeah.
I can totally
Oh,
see how you
yeah.
do that because it's just a matter of what you cut out and what you leave, and those
Yeah.
are all connecting points like that.
We'd have to get a really sharp knife. You know,
okay.
to really get in there.
Yeah. Well, you need that little serrated one. That's
Yeah.
what you need. You need a.
I think, or I bet you could do a dope one with a drill. Zzz, and just zzz, zzz.
Oh yeah, like a.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What is that saw? Like
I know. I'm not
Dremel.
great for Dremel, yeah.
Look, I've got like 4 Dremels. Like all the different ones they had. I bought a package with all of them.
Yep.
We could use that, dude. I'm sure because I've got
Might be a little aggressive.
maybe, but that's
You
okay.
gotta have a very steady hand with that stuff, and that's not my
okay.
strong suit.
All right. Well,
Either way,
I'll try to do some of the intricate stuff.
we'll
get in that.
we'll put a pin in that.
Yes.
And we can document our progress on it.
Yeah.
When
I
we get
imagine
pumpkins. We pick out our pumpkins. We go pumpkin shopping.
Yes, all of it. Yes, all of it. I don't know whether we go to a patch or we go to just the grocery store and pick them out. I don't know what's best, but
Oh, I just find a farm and steal them.
okay, we can do that.
That's way more fun.
It's better than what we used to do: steal them from people's porches and then chuck them out the car
Yeah.
at 80 miles an hour and watch them scatter all over the
they
fucking
explode
streets.
so
Oh
good.
yeah, those are great.
Absolutely.
But I encourage listeners to pitch in with that. Do something festive.
Yeah.
For once in a while, and And I'm thinking of that. I was thinking of the kids in Florida because I know trick or
We should
treating is
do
a
a pumpkin
big deal.
carving contest, and they could submit their thing, and we can have a giveaway or something.
Best one gets an in-studio visit.
Something, yeah.
That's a good one.
I was thinking a T-shirt, but all right. So
We could do a T-shirt and an in-studio.
yeah,
We could do that.
Sure.
See if anyone's up for it. That gives them, what, 3 weeks before Halloween?
plenty of time. Plenty of time.
Should we make it official?
I think we should.
All right.
Okay.
And so what are the ground rules then? It has to be TDC related, TDC
Has to be
podcast
TDC related. Can be anything TDC related.
So it could be Vanilla Gorilla would
It can
count.
be, absolutely. It can be anything TDC related. And we just get to vote. What's our favorite?
So you and I vote.
Yep.
Okay.
And if we can't decide, we'll flip a coin.
Okay.
If I have a favorite and you have a favorite, we'll flip a coin.
Okay.
Fair?
Well, we should give it a point rating system for each one so that we can tally the points and hopefully see, so you got to really be sure if you're going to give someone 10 points or 8.3.
Right.
And then we'll tally it up.
Okay.
And figure out which one we like the best. If
And
anyone cares
ladies,
to do
if
it.
your hoot, including a picture, would not hurt your chances of getting the in-studio visit.
That's a great point. It's a great way to cheat without cheating.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So include a topless photo of yourself, whatever is
I mean,
fine. You
hey,
don't have
whatever,
to,
options up to you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
totally up to them.
It's just nice to have all the information available when making decisions like that.
The reason I bring up the holidays and stuff like that is I was thinking about trick-or-treating in Florida this year.
Yeah.
And how bad that would suck if you were a kid like we were talking about yesterday. We don't really have natural disasters here that would wipe out Christmas. You know what I mean? But that for a lot of those counties, man.
I mean, this isn't new to Florida. Getting hit with these things.
2018 was the last one, last big one that fucked them up.
Yeah, but you'd be amazed. I bet you by Halloween, I'll bet you over 90% of the power's restored.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the houses are gone.
Not all of them.
Well, a lot of them. A lot of them. They think that they're going to incur upwards of $40 to $50 billion in insured losses.
Yeah. Marco got hit, and those houses are $1 million a piece.
Yeah.
So you knock 20 houses out in Marco, there's $20 million right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought it was funny because is it Marco Rubio? He's down in Florida, right? Or I guess DeSantis. They're trying to raise money.
Well, he's the governor, but Marco's not the governor.
No, he's a senator down there. But yeah, they've raised $21 million. I'm like, that might fix a neighborhood.
Well, no, but that's not. I mean, insurance is fixing up the other stuff. I mean, that's what insurance is for. The houses and all that kind of stuff. But the money goes for immediate needs, for people that that are displaced, for food, for people that aren't
food, water, shelter, clothing.
Yeah.
Well, it could cost Florida $40 billion in insured losses, according to a leading ratings agency. The storm system entered Florida Wednesday, tearing through the western and central portions of the state at nearly the power of a Cat 5, winds exceeding 150 miles an hour. Boy, oh boy. Fitch Ratings noted the insurance specialists in Florida have suffered financial losses and diminished capital in recent years, vulnerable to large catastrophic events that generate losses in excess of reinsurance limits. Company projects between 25 and 40 billion in losses, a figure that rivals 36 billion of damage induced by Hurricane Ida last year. Okay. So there was Ida last year. Falls short of Katrina in 2005, 65 billion.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Katrina's still a shit wreck. Like, isn't Katrina still, like, a lot of that is just a mess still.
Well, the thing with insurance, though, is flood insurance is the only way. You have to get a separate rider for flood insurance for this. It's funny, if a hurricane comes through and the wind from the hurricane blows your house down, you're covered. If the water comes in and floods your house, you're not.
You're not.
It's so fucking stupid.
It is. It's
stupid.
Crazy how that works.
I mean, we know when you're in these flood zones and when you're susceptible to natural disasters like this. Like, can't we just figure it out to when these people? I mean, you're going to have to pay for it because the odds are you're going to need it at some point.
I don't understand. It's like this. If you knew that every 5 years something was going to come through here and maybe it hits Southfield, maybe it hits Bloomfield,
but it's going to come through here.
But it's going to come through here every 5 years.
And even when it hits those two, you're still going to take a branch through you're going to lose some shingles. You're going to have a little bit of damage. It may not be catastrophic, but you're still going to take on some damage.
I would think making claims like that, you wouldn't be able to get insurance. Like, how do they even sell insurance down there? It seems like they take a bath every time one of these things came through. All of a sudden at once, these people are all insured. Well, now it's not the one house at the end of the block that needs help.
Yeah.
It's all of them.
Right.
Like, it just doesn't make sense, but they're going to rebuild right there. And then we're going to play this game all over again.
Yeah.
It's just, living on the coast is that important to people.
Well,
which I get. The coast is awesome.
Sure.
But
sure. I don't know what the answer on that is. I mean, especially like I said, we saw what that actually entails, that 15-foot storm surge.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, you can build your house on stilts. You're not going to get away from that.
If you have to build your house on stilts, that should tell you something right there. Yeah. I remember there's a spot, I can't remember what the beach is called, but it's on the like if you're going from where my parents' house was over the Golden Gate Bridge, on the left there's a beach down there, and it's got this gorgeous view looking up at the Golden Gate Bridge.
Oh, nice!
It's really cool. And so we were there, my niece and nephew and stuff, and playing. And there's like a cliff, mountain cliff there, and there's a bunch of multi-million-dollar houses up there. And I'm telling you, like the stilts alone, it's like this is eroded so much. I wouldn't feel comfortable walking in that house, let alone living in it.
Yeah.
Not to mention the earthquake.
Yeah, just one little one, just to knock it off the edge.
Terrifying to live there. Like, yeah, it's a great view today.
Yeah, you roll those dice.
Every time I got in the shower, every time I took a shower in California, I'd like hurry up and like wash everything, like in case the earthquake hits right now.
Yeah.
I don't end up nude on the roof of my neighbor's house. It's like just hurry up and get through this damn shit. And
all right,
get out of here.
Yeah. You got some issues.
I do. Yeah. Yeah, being caught naked in public is one of them.
Fair.
It's not
a
not a good look for me. It's fine for you. I understand that. I understand.
We're all born naked, man.
That's right.
Born naked, we die naked.
So anyway, a lot of people cheating death out there. And speaking of cheating, how you like that, T?
Yeah, we're coming off the heels of the walleye tournament.
Yes. See, this is your wheelhouse. Why don't we do a read first?
Okay.
And then we'll try to get into this, and I'm hoping you can make sense of this for me because it's a very popular video today.
That's funny because I was just going to talk to our OG sponsor, Zott, Ford, and Holly. They're taking custom orders for new 2023 models. When you order, you're still going to lock in a $1,000 rebate and 2.9% APR financing with your order. Plus, they said their military trifecta is back. So if you're an active or retired military, veteran, first responder, or medical professional, that's a lot of people, and you buy, lease, or custom order a new ride, you're going to save an additional $1,000 over and above all the other incentives. Also, if you're sick of your current lease, let the guys get you out by waiving up to 2 payments early. Finally, your friends at Zott have a fair amount of cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock ready to go home with you today. So don't delay. Get details and see their inventory at dealsinthed.com.
Very good.
Tell them TDC sent you.
You better tell them TDC sent you.
There you go.
So this is fascinating to me. I've gotten into fishing a little bit.
Yep.
I like, hanging out with you and Tooch, obviously, is the main part of the fun.
It's a good time to be on. It's always a good time on the lake.
It is, especially you got a nice day in Michigan. It's unbelievable. In fact, I was talking to Richard earlier, who's been doing work in the bathroom down here, and he's from Florida.
Yeah.
And
dodge that bullet.
Well, he was showing me pictures of fishing.
Yeah.
He's doing.
Oh,
I'm like, you got to send me those, dude. I got to fucking show T-Roy some of these. Just
yeah, monsters down there.
Monsters. Marlin fishing.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a whole nother world.
Yeah.
Biggest we got here is sturgeon.
Well, it's still just fun as hell. It's like going to a ball game on a beautiful afternoon in Detroit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like going to a baseball game. It's just awesome.
Catching fish is secondary. Fishing is important.
But is there anything that rush when you get something on the hook?
Oh, yeah.
And you don't know, it could be a dirty sock
Yep.
or a fucking fish. It's the greatest feeling ever, too.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So I'm getting into that. Another game is poker that I find fascinating. And I've played a little bit of Texas Hold'em, that kind of thing. But you're really into poker. And I
play a bit. Yep.
I watch you get into it, and you're one of those people that would not surprise me if you did really well in tournaments. You've got a poker face.
Sure.
You don't get overly excited about things. You don't get overly down about things. You just kind of play the role, and I think you do fairly well.
Generally, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Overall.
Whenever I talk to you, I bother you from time to time, and I'll ask you questions mid-game, and you'll do online with a bunch of buddies, and you're always up. It's not $1 million, but you're up $50.
No. Yeah, not always. No. But overall.
But a lot of the time.
Yeah. It's a good experience. That's what I'm going for.
And you'll record, like the poker channel stuff and watch stuff. You've got a book on playing poker and blah, blah, blah. And I'd like to get into it. I feel like I'm so far behind where everyone else is that I just get my dick kicked in all the time.
Not really. I mean, you got to start somewhere. I haven't played. I've played poker just dicking around my whole life.
Yeah,
but never seriously, never competitively.
We never played when we were younger. We were always,
like Miller. Those guys played a lot.
Yeah,
the house games, and we'd play that. But that's a little different. That's all like just crazy games and dealer's choice and stuff. So it's not. So when Hold'em a few years back really took hold, that sort of dominated and put poker into the spotlight. World Series of Poker and things like that. And got way more people into it now. With all the online stuff, it's exploded. So its popularity is through the roof.
Yeah,
right.
Well, case in point, the story that I've got here.
Yeah.
It had 7 million views in a day.
Yeah.
Like that's a shitload for.
Yeah, it is.
And so I was like, okay, I'm gonna read the story. And it comes with accompanying videos.
Okay.
One of the, the 20 minutes of the, the game going on and the announcer's reaction and the players at the table. And then there was another video further explaining it, like some guy at home, poker expert watching it.
Yeah, just right.
And I got to admit,
his opinion.
I'm very confused because.
Well, everybody is. I mean, everybody at the table, everybody's confused by it. That's why it's so confusing.
Well, let me read the story, and then I can ask you some questions, and
sure.
You know enough about this that maybe you can help me with it. So, Poker World's a buzz. You got a player, Garrett Adelstein. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Apparently, he's very, very good.
Yep.
He accused a lesser-known opponent of cheating to win a $270,000 pot during a streamed World Poker Tour event last week. Robbie Jade Lou and her giant titties.
Yep, tickle bitties.
Yep. Has admitted she offered to give Adelstein the money back, which he took after the suspicious moment, but she's also targeting Adelstein on social media, claiming she won the pot after simply misreading her hand. So, Garrett, you look like you want to kill me. I remember seeing that in the video.
Yep.
And because this was live streamed, which is if my jack wasn't a club, I would have been out. What do you mean if your jack wasn't a club? He shot back. That doesn't seem super funny to me. She's laughing and he's like, this doesn't seem super funny to me. He took to social media to detail what went down and how he believes he was clearly cheated. To be clear, I never asked for a refund. I never even considered asking. But it's such an obvious admission of guilt on her end. But once she offered, of course, I'm going to accept my money back after being clearly cheated. She didn't misread her hand. She knew she had Jack 4. She looks back at her hand for several seconds before calling. Adelstein said that he's well aware the scariest/easiest way for someone to cheat a live stream is to have a device hidden that simply vibrates to indicate you have the best hand. Mm-hmm. So that's like saying we're watching it live, and as a viewer, we're seeing everybody's hand and what they have. Yeah. And he's claiming someone would put anal beads in her.
Right.
And
like the chess player. That was the big stink couple, no pun intended, a couple weeks ago. See, that's the problem with this stuff being live streamed like this to this level, because that does open the door for that. Normally, these are all televised, but they are almost always delayed.
Oh,
they're not. I mean, all those things like the
World Series of Poker is not live.
You're not watching it like as it happens, and people in the stadium, or in the
mini arena,
in the room or whatever they're at, can't see, but the announcers can. Right, because they have little cameras where they show their cards on the table, so you can see what they're having. That shows on the screens, but nobody in the game is privileged to any of that information. Yeah. So it's like when those percentages and things come up. Well, you're the only one that knows that.
They don't, the viewer,
because you're seeing what both players have, but the players don't know what each other has.
So they give an initial, they lay out the cards. You get your 2, and then they flip 3 cards over the dealer. And then they discard one, and then the river comes. I think I'm getting this right.
Yep.
And
the
at some
flop,
point,
the turn, in the river.
Exactly. So when they do the flop, I think that's when people like fold. I'm out.
It depends.
Call.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's when you start to see the percentages come in. So it's like these two bailed, and we've got 3 people left.
Yep.
And then it'll be like, with the cards currently on the table, which is subject to change as the river and flop and all that comes out, they'll start with an initial like, Troy has a 85% chance of winning. Mike has a 10% chance of winning. And Shit Dick has a 5%.
But even that, see, that's the beauty of poker, is that your cards are only part of it. So that those percentages are still only if it comes to a showdown everybody has to show what their cards are, basically.
Right.
You can have a 0% chance of winning and win the hand.
Okay.
By how you
I don't
play.
understand that.
Right, but if you have a better hand than I do, right, and I bet a huge bet,
right,
and make you think that I have a better hand than you do, then you fold, I win the hand,
right?
But even though with the shittier cards,
sure, you bluffed and I bought.
Exactly right. Yeah. So, and that's basically what happens here. I was going through this. This goes. To watch the hands about 4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can pull it up if you want.
It's there. Well, I just didn't know if we're going to watch it or if we're just going to kind of.
First off, I don't believe her when she says, "I thought I had Jack 3, but she really had Jack 4 or whatever."
No,
like she's looking at her cards a lot. I watched the video too. That's why I was so confused by it. Here's what I don't understand: like the announcers, when you're listening to them, we could play a minute of it if you want. They're like, "Oh my God, I can't believe what I'm seeing here!"
Yeah.
Like. Bluffing is a part of the game. You can have the best hand in the world, and if I'm a good enough bluffer with dog shit, it's a brilliant move if I take that pot from you with garbage. So why are they going so apeshit when she has?
Because of how it went down, right? So that's exactly right. But he was the one that bluffed. Okay, that he led the bet, so it went. Neither of them had shit, right? He had a potential for a straight flush, even technically.
Right.
He had 4 to the straight flush off the flop. So he's still got 2 more to come to catch a flush and or a straight flush. Right.
Yeah.
So he's got all the incentive in the world to stay into this hand. Right.
Okay.
She's got shit. She's Jack 4 offsuit, but her Jack is the club where she mentions in there because that's a blocker because the 9-10 came up on the flop. Right,
okay.
so she's got that 10,
9-10 of
Jack
clubs?
Of clubs.
Okay.
Yep. So, anyways, it just goes back and forth where he bets on the flop, she calls, right, and they're like, oh, what's she even calling? Like, because it came up with 2 10s and a 9.
What does it mean to call?
Like, so he bets.
I'm staying in the game.
Yes, if he bets $1,000, then she says, okay, here's $1,000. I call.
Now she can raise that if she wants,
you can
or
call,
she can just call
you
it.
can fold, or you can raise.
Yeah,
those are your options. So, and then it goes to another card on the turn, and then he bets again, fairly small bet, all things considered, and then she raises him.
Which is when they start really getting like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, but no, because see, now that's where she's bluffing because he doesn't have anything. He's on a draw. And there's 2 10s on the board. She could have had a set, 2 pairs, whatever. He doesn't. So when she raises, now he knows that he has nothing. He still has 1 more card where he can make a hand, but he's on a draw. But so he can either just call that extra $10,000. Or whatever. I mean, whatever the bet was.
Yeah.
I think it was. I think he bet 10,000 or 1,000. She bet either way. And then, or what he did was shove all in. So he bets 10. She raises him another 10. I think it was. So it's $20,000. So rather than just calling that 10, he raises again, 3 bets it to like $127,000.
Okay.
Right on nothing. He doesn't have anything.
So he's hoping that she'll fold.
He bluffing. You know, he at least has a decent potential of catching a hand still on the river, but he doesn't want to get there, right?
He wants her to fold.
He doesn't believe that she has shit because she had a very small raise to his.
Yeah.
She's been limping in, maybe not. Maybe that's just a check. And as soon as so that's where it gets different because at that point when he raises all in, and even if you think he's bluffing, you have to have a hand to be able to beat him with. right? You might think you have the best hand, but she had shit.
Yeah.
She had nothing. So whether she thought she had this Jack 3, which she, like I said, she talks over herself a bunch of different ways and how she tries to explain it. Because at one point she's like, I had you on ace high. And he's like, well, why the fuck would you call it with Jack high? Because if he was on ace high, she loses to, if he's got an ace, a king, a queen.
Yeah.
And he raised pre-flop. He raised before the flop even came out.
Yeah.
Which generally shows a fairly strong hand.
Right.
You know, you're going to raise. Not always. I mean,
and you can bluff that.
You can bluff that. But generally, if you're going to raise on that, you have something that you're willing to play. And he had suited connectors. I mean, it's okay. It's a playable hand. He was just trying to get out of it and probably just sneak the pot.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Raise. Hopefully she's got shit. Jack 4 offsuit. She should have laid it down.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where all these little red flags are coming up. Like Jack 4 on a raise, she should have laid it down. But I think she was on the button. So she had already had money into the pot. They all straddled, which is a whole nother thing. So there was already money in the pot. So she calls, okay? If it's a minimum investment to get in and see some cards, you never know. Okay, come up Jack 4. Who knows, right? You never know. So that's okay. And then the way it plays out, but when you get to the point where he shoved in all in for $127,000 and she calls, I mean, that's the greatest call of all time to be able to win that hand. And they ran it twice, which means they draw that second card twice. When somebody goes all in, it's just a courtesy that they'll do sometimes. Like you want to run it twice. So
what does that mean?
So when that last card comes up, it'll be half the pot for each time. So if the first one came up and it was a club, he would have hit his flush, but it would only be half of that. And then they would do it a second time, and if it would have been a jack, she would have won it. You know.
Okay.
If it as it turns out, they ran it twice and she won both times. So her jack was high, but it's just one of those things where it doesn't make any sense of how it went down, and for her to call,
she'd have to get literally the perfect card to win then, or she had to know.
The only thing she could have hit there basically was, I mean, you have to assume this guy either has higher cards, ace, king, queen, somewhere in there.
So to make that high of a call, when he says all in for 120 grand, if she calls, she's matching that 120, which is how they get to a $270,000 pot.
That's exactly right.
So if she had anal beads in, and someone's going, he's got less garbage than you even, and is zapping those anal beads.
It's possible. It's possible. But now I was watching her actually play that through her head. As she's trying to, because it takes a while. I mean, they stall.
Yeah.
They do all this shit, before she makes the actual call.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've watched enough and played enough poker where 100 times out of 100, you fold that. Nobody makes that call with what she has. The only possible situation is if somehow she really did think she had the 3. But I don't think
so.
She
why
did.
would that have mattered? Was that
because
part
the 3
of
came up on the
3?
board.
Was it 3, 10, 10 or something?
It was 10, 10, 9, and then something, and then a 3 came up.
Dude, she's looking at it like this.
I know.
There's no fucking
There's no way. There's no way that you don't.
I don't
you're
buy
not
that
at this level, and you don't know what fucking card you have.
No.
But like I said, that's the only way I could even justify where she would. Make the call, but she literally had nothing.
Could it just be like so stupid? Like, I'm just going to bluff and hope to God he's bluffing worse than me?
Yes. Well, yes. But even with that, like, it's that jack is such a shit card. Like, that's your jack high is so terrible to assume that somebody has raised pre-flop, bet into you, and then shoved all in with something less than that didn't even pair the board, and something lower than a jack. Is fucking insane. That you would make that read on somebody.
So there's got to be anal beads in play. Something.
I mean, people are torn on it. I mean, I don't. I'm not gonna say one way or the other. I don't know.
Let me read the comments from him and her back, because this got into a Twitter battle.
Yep.
And see what you think. If there's anything that jumps out at you here, like, oh yeah, I would have said that or not, or Poker's an extremely complicated and nuanced game. Adelstein prefaced the post, I don't fault anyone who watched the hand and doesn't conceptually understand how it's impossible to call on the turn there.
Yeah.
I read the man, and I make a hero call, and he shoves on a turned brick card. Get over it, she said. I'll say it again, like I've said it before. I'm not playing nice in the sandbox anymore. So what does that mean? I read the man.
See, I think
I read the man. Oh, so I read him, his body language.
She read him, yeah.
And made a hero call.
Yeah.
And he shoves on a turned brick card. What does that mean?
But the turn was a brick, right? It didn't connect with what there was. I forget what the fourth card is. That's the turn.
Okay.
Right. A brick is a miss.
Yeah.
Is a card
like
that doesn't
basketball
connect
shot,
to the
brick.
board. It doesn't do anybody any good.
Yeah.
If there's king queen 10 on the board and then a 3 offsuit comes up, that's a brick. Right.
Okay.
So it was. So maybe the 3 was the. It must have been the 3. I think was the turn card that didn't connect with anything, and then it's entirely possible that she could have read him and just called bullshit.
But it sounds like he's a really respected, solid player.
Well, listen. They're here. Phil Ivey's at this table. I mean, there's legends at this on this table right now. I mean, this isn't just some guy's basement game. You know, like
right.
she's no slouch either. If she's in this game, I don't know who she is, but she's somebody if she's in this game. This is a sanctioned event.
All right, let me read it this way. Okay. Make it right, Garrett, she added, or don't. I don't give a fuck. I've already moved on. I'll make it back either way. And then Garrett blocked me, guilty as charged. What an honest man. He cornered me and threatened me. If he has the audacity to give me the death stare on camera, picture what it's like off camera. I was pulled out of the game and forced to speak with him in a dark hallway. Full details to come. Lou, then quote tweeted one explanation of the bizarre moment. Nailed it. Here's what was described. She thought she had J3. She feels men are always trying to run her over, and she's dying to make big calls. Of course, bring the sexism's part of it.
Of course.
She was embarrassed. She actually had J4 and told nonsensical fibs in an attempt to cover up an innocent mistake. If she had turned over J3, Garrett would have said, nice hand. If you rewatch the video, someone asks her if she has pocket 3s. She says no. He then asks her if she has A3. She says no again, but seems to be flustered. She also stresses she has a pure bluff catcher. Every one of us would consider J3 exactly to be a pure bluff catcher. None of us would consider J4 to be anything remotely close to a pure bluff catcher. Call it cheating, lying, scheming, I don't care. But if I hear one word, if I hear the word #sus again, I just might have to change my story at least 5 more times, she said. So I don't know what that means, a pure bluff catcher. I don't know.
I'm not sure exactly what she's going for there, but but even that is so. Is she trying to say that she thought she had
Yeah,
Jack
that was her
3?
story.
That's
Yeah.
her story.
Yeah.
Because she says that in there. She's like, "So are 3's good?" Ha ha ha. And she's giggling. And then somebody said, "Do you have a 3?" And she was like, "No."
Yeah.
Before she made the call. Before she called the all in.
Yeah.
Is that conversation? Not after. That's before.
Right.
So I don't know. I mean,
I just don't understand why this is such a giant deal. Like people bluff and lie and all the time.
I know. Well, no, there's because it's not bluffing or lying. It's whether or not it's cheating. Mm-hmm. That's between, and so now I think everybody's on high alert between the chess guy with the butt
Carlson.
plug,
Yeah,
and the fishing thing that just went viral over the weekend. So I think everybody's on a little bit
on edge,
heightened over it.
Yeah.
So my gut, I don't know if she's cheating or not. But my gut tells me there's no way in the world anyone makes that call.
Yeah.
No one in the world
that
makes
knows
that
what they're
call.
doing.
That knows, yes.
I mean, I could make that call.
Yeah. Well, right, I mean, yeah. There's just nothing. There's nothing about that hand.
Yeah.
That says that you call. You go ahead. She took her shot when she raised him.
Yeah.
On the turn. She took the shot. He bet little. She raised.
And he didn't bite.
And so he had the option. He either folds it, calls it, or tries and shoves all in and puts the pressure back on her.
Yeah.
And so you could say that it went both ways. Like
then all in.
She called bullshit.
all in matches like
It's
what
whatever his stack is.
His stack
his
is.
whatever he has. He had $120,000 left in his stack, or
so
whatever
he
that
loses
was.
everything if he,
yeah. He
and
put
which is
he
what
put his
happened.
whole stack in, and then which is what happened.
Wow.
And she had it covered. She had more than that.
I want to start playing poker, man.
Okay.
I want to try to learn a little bit.
Right.
I've enjoyed the few
Start with
times.
that book. Read that book.
You're gonna make me read a book.
Well, okay. Do you want to play poker? Or do you want to get good at poker?
Well, I want to start by playing poker.
All right.
You know,
well, you can play poker with me anytime.
I just want to learn a little bit and see. You know, like if I remember learning blackjack, and blackjack's great. It's a lot of fun. Blackjack can be very annoying if with other people at the table. You get some rogue cowboy and
Yep.
you know can fucking
Hit me.
hit
my 17.
or not hit me, that asshole
Yeah.
that doesn't want to hit on a fucking 14 staring at a king.
Right.
Or, you know what I mean? You're like, dude, you know. But yeah, it's fun and I enjoy playing it. But poker, I've just never played that. I'd like to understand it a little bit.
Yeah, it's that's what I love about it, is that it's a lot more than just playing the cards in your hand.
Yeah,
you know,
it's kind of the chess versus checkers world in games.
In a
you
bit,
know?
yeah.
There's
Yeah.
a lot of strategy, a
Definitely.
lot of Anyway, well,
so we'll
30
see.
minutes on that. I don't
Holy
know
shit.
how many people we lost
Everybody
there.
probably tuned out. It's intriguing to me, but and yeah, people that probably don't give a shit about it or understand how ridiculous that call was.
Yeah.
in that level.
I think that's where I'm trying to get to is understanding why this is so ridiculous. Because
what makes that so egregious?
Yes.
that you even question it.
Because I've watched enough of this stuff in passing with you.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, I come in and it's on.
Yeah.
I always can sit in and get into it.
Yep.
And I know there's way more strategy that's going over my head, but they never seem to freak out like that. Like, what the hell is going on? Like,
Right.
people are fucking bluffing all the
and if
time.
you watch, what'll show you is, is the reaction of everybody else at the table.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody at the table is like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
What's happening?" I can't. One guy's like, "That's the fucking craziest hand I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah.
And everybody's just in pure shock, and the guy that just lost his wad
Doesn't say shit. He's
is
just like,
just deer in headlights. Like, you got to be shitting me. Like,
Yeah.
flip over a 3, fine. You called it. You had a shit 2 pair. You beat me. Awesome.
Yeah.
You called my bluff. You got it. But to have bigger bullshit than mine, or better bullshit than mine, I guess.
yeah.
Like I said, it just doesn't make sense for somebody
Yeah.
to make that call.
Interesting.
In the real world.
Interesting. Moving on to other things.
Okay.
Well, Twitter. I thought Twitter was going. We had Elon Musk want to buy it for $48 billion, $44 billion, whatever it was.
54 a share, something like that.
Exactly, $54.20 a share.
Yep,
To be precise.
$4.20 for Grimes.
There you go. And then he was like, I want to look under the hood. We all knew that. And Twitter was balking at a lot of that. And he'd come out and said, there could be upwards of 35% or more that is just bullshit.
Yeah,
these
they're
are
bots.
bots.
Right.
And I want to know what I'm getting.
Yep.
Well, they said when he agreed to buy it, there was $1 billion back out clause.
Yep.
That if either party balked and tried to renege on it, it was $1 billion. And so Elon was trying to bail on that. Well, out of nowhere, he says, I'm buying Twitter at the original offer price of $54.20 a share. Trading of shares was halted today. As news of his offer emerged and drove the company's share price up by 13%, his original offer in April was to buy it for $44 billion, 38% more than what the market said it was worth. After months and back and forth, he tried to back out of the deal in July. Twitter sued him, attempting to back out, like I said. The new proposal signals an end to that dispute, though it's unclear what prompted Musk to change his mind. He now is likely to own the company within days.
Yeah, well, maybe he just didn't want to eat a bill. And was like, you know what? Well, if I'm going to...
But then eat 44 bill?
Well, he's not going to eat 44 bill, though. He's going to own Twitter.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I wonder how much this changes. Because Twitter is a cesspool.
Yep.
And
I don't know. I don't know how much it's going to change. I think some of it will. I think more than anything is I hope we get to look under the hood. I hope we get to see what actually has been going on. I think we get to see. I'm sure they're frantically shredding and burning shit right now, probably.
Can you imagine?
I don't even know if that's a real thing anymore, but essentially, like, oh shit, the jig is up.
Yeah, well, or depending on what they know, like if he gets in there now and opens the hood and is like, you cocksuckers, you knew all along that 60% of these were bots.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, then what do? I wonder if he's got any legal recourse.
I don't think so. I think it just sort of is what it is.
I wonder if this changes the landscape. I mean, first off, I'd love to see Trump get back on there, even though Trump says he won't get on there, for nothing more than to drive people nuts.
Yeah.
You know, it was such nonsense that he was blown out of there that, you know.
And a lot of people. Not
a lot
just
of people,
Trump.
yes.
A lot of people.
Who was it? Was it Babylon B? Weren't they blown out for some nonsense reason?
Yep.
Jordan Peterson, I think, was blown out, or, you know, and there's been a lot of people who have been permanently banned.
Yeah, the list goes on.
And it's basically people you just don't like, you don't agree with. That's all it is.
Of course,
when it comes down to it.
You know, they hide it under the guise of hate speech and misinformation and
protecting
shit, but
you.
it's not. It's just they don't like what you have to say.
Yeah.
They get to censor you, and when they can't censor you enough, they just kick you right off.
Yeah.
And that's the scariest part of it. This is supposed to be our town square, as they say.
Yeah, exactly, and it should be.
Yeah.
I wonder how much they'll be able to make it right, make it good, where people don't have to worry about it. That the fear of retribution probably keeps more people off there than anything.
Yeah.
The fear of being blown out for some opinion or hot take you have, or what you think is funny. You know, it's not a crime to bomb. You know,
right.
It's not a crime to see the world differently than someone else does on Twitter. Like, that shouldn't be a crime.
No.
It'll be interesting to see when he comes in. I hope he fucking blows out so many damn people in there.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's so overstaffed with just woke ideology running rampant through the hallways.
Yep. Just bloated.
Yeah, bloated, exactly. Just start blowing out divisions of people.
Yeah. Well, you're going to have to streamline it.
Yeah.
You want to be profitable. That's rule number one.
And all those people are like, I will not work for a monster like Elon. Good.
Adios.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Don't let the door hit you.
Yeah. Where the good Lord split you.
Don't do that. I was just going to say in the ass on the way out, but all right.
Speaking of censorship and where this goes, 3 major American medical institutions wrote a letter to the Soup administration this week, urging it to go after major figures online who are promoting content that exposes some of the radical gender surgeries that are being offered at some places across the country. So the AMA, the American Medical Association, American Academy of Pediatrics, and Children's Hospital Association all signed the letter to Merrick Garland, urging the administration to investigate the organizations, individuals, and entities that it claimed were coordinating and provoking outrage online directed at those providing controversial services. From Boston to Akron to Nashville to Seattle, children's hospitals, academic health systems, and physicians are being targeted and threatened for providing evidence-based health care.
Is that what it is?
Oh, is that? Yeah.
I didn't realize you could just put words in front of things and make it true.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's the world we're living in now.
Oh, man. That changes everything.
All we're doing is evidence-based health care. Jeez Louise.
I know.
I mean, she says she's a boy. If that's not evidence-based medicine, I don't know what is.
Science.
Christopher Rufo got a no. Christopher Rufo. He's one of these like Matt Walsh, like on the forefront, sticking his neck out there. Christopher Rufo's a journalist who's doing a lot of these like, hey, look what's going on at Vanderbilt, you know? So people are obviously reaching out to people like Christopher Rufo, Libs of TikTok, Matt Walsh, and going, here's what's going on at my company, here's what's going on at this school, and shoveling this information to them. They're releasing it, and these people don't like it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Aww.
So these attacks have not only made it difficult and dangerous for institutions and practices to provide this care, they also disrupted many other services to families seeking care. Okay. All right. The letter claimed the medical personnel have faced increased threats via social media and that there was elevated and justifiable fear among families, patients, and staffs. These coordinated attacks threaten federally protected rights to health care for patients and their families. The attacks are rooted in an intentional campaign of disinformation, where a few high-profile users on social media share false and misleading information targeting individual physicians and hospitals, resulting in a rapid escalation of threats, harassment, and disruption of care across multiple jurisdictions. Our organizations have called on tech companies to do more to prevent this practice on digital platforms, and we now urge your office to take swift action to investigate and prosecute all organizations, individuals, and entities responsible. This letter claimed that the hospitals, staff, and their communities have been shaken by outrage that has been generated as a result of them being put under the microscope. Oh, you earned that.
Oh, I mean just under the microscope or just pulling back the curtain?
Yeah, either or.
Oh, okay.
Either or.
But none of this are lies.
No.
This is just
this is evidence-based healthcare.
What they're doing. Oh, okay. Huh.
By the way, what we've noticed is happening quite frequently. If all of this is just sound medical procedures, blah, 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 then why do you delete it all the minute you're called out for it?
It's
weird.
Sus.
Sus.
They say.
Hashtag sus.
Yeah.
Yes. Providers of evidence-based gender-affirming healthcare and their colleagues are facing increased stress and fear on top of the conditions they have faced while working on the front lines of a global pandemic for nearly 3 years. Oh, fuck you. No. Don't bring your heroic work on
Heroes
COVID.
work here.
You had to point out the heroic work on the front lines you've done. No, you're worried about your cash cow going away.
Yeah.
Knowing that you can charge $150,000 to put a fake dick on some chick.
Yeah,
that's the problem here.
Those aren't the ones that were on the front lines of COVID. The plastic surgeons building fake dicks.
Yeah. The ones cutting
boring out vagines.
Yeah. Or taking a 8-inch patch of your fucking forearm skin. So
good for them.
Yeah. To craft a dong with.
Yeah.
I mean, give me a break. This is unbelievable. So when they say individuals, organizations that are blah, 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 they're talking about people like us, for instance.
Sure.
Now, they don't mean you and I specifically right now, but that's what they're talking about. When they're talking about Matt Walsh as an individual, Christopher Rufo, TDC Podcast, people that don't just fall automatically in line with whatever the thinking is. Unfortunately, that Vanderbilt video was horrific when she's like, do you have any idea how much of a moneymaker this is? Yep. Like, these people,
this is drastically undervalued. They say it's only $20,000, and I think we can get $100,000 for this. At least
upwards of that and more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and why did they delete that? If this is so true and they stand by this work and it's so necessary.
Yeah, well, it's evidence-based.
And evidence-based.
Clearly.
Science. If that's the truth, then why do you need to delete it? Why do you need to come out with an article or a statement saying, well, what they said is very misleading? Okay, well, then tell me which part's misleading. Because it sounds like you want to fucking take the uteruses out of young, healthy girls. And you want to take their titties out, too, before they fully blossom. Exactly. That's what it sounds like you want to do. You said it. You didn't know you were being filmed. These people showed us that, and then your only excuse is misinformation, and we're being harassed.
Yeah. They're transphobes.
We're being harassed.
Transphobes.
Shut up, transphobes. It's incredible. And so now you want to use the power of the Department of Justice to make it what? So anybody that's on social media or does a podcast or is in media in any way that takes issue with this just doesn't fall right in line and have no questions, by the way.
And again, for putting them under the microscope?
Yeah.
That's where you should be.
Yes. Always.
Always. On any level, on any side of this.
Yeah.
It should be under the microscope.
Yes.
The curtain should be pulled back. It should be complete and total transparency.
Yes. I'm beside myself. I don't know. And they'll try to get that through.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if Merrick Garland's Department of Justice started targeting this.
He needs some new domestic terrorists.
Yeah. And once that blew up in his face, and what happens if now I could see him going after Matt Walsh. Sure. What is a woman making that a hate crime? Just making that documentary, having these people use their own words to describe what's going on and the rest of the country freak out about it.
That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
If they could make that somehow into a hate crime.
Yeah. Well,
I wouldn't be surprised. Sadly, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, and there's more. We've got Supreme Court agrees to hear a case challenging big tech Section 230 legal protections.
Okay,
that's another one. And you know,
that's the only thing I have confidence in right now is the Supreme Court.
Yeah, right.
Go ahead, run it up the flagpole. Let's see what happens.
See what we do.
I'll roll those dice.
Yeah.
I'll take my chances right now.
So yesterday, the Supreme Court agreed to take up the case that challenges legal protection for big tech companies over user-generated content that could potentially usher in a new era of moderating freedom of expression on the internet. The case, Ronaldo Gonzalez versus Google LLC, would be heard asking whether tech companies make target recommendations. The case alleges YouTube, owned by Google, aided and abetted in the death of Nohemi Gonzalez, 23-year-old American woman who was killed in the 2015 ISIS attacks in Paris, along with 130 others, and injured more than 100. The family of Gonzalez sued Google, arguing that the platform's algorithm allowed and recommended terrorist-related content from ISIS to target users with hundreds of radicalizing videos inciting violence and recruiting potential supporters.
Okay.
So I don't know what they're saying. Like their daughter got mixed up in that when she was in Paris.
I get maybe, or you look up something from ISIS or something, and then you get flooded on your stream with it,
propagandized into.
I guess maybe that they just like anything else. If you look up, you're looking for a car. All of a sudden, everything that every ad is about a car.
Yeah,
it's probably like that. If you did something with ISIS, all of a sudden you're flooded with it into your stream.
Well, Google argued the claims were barred under Section 230 and has since moved to dismiss the lawsuit. A judge dismissed the case, prompting the family to appeal to the Supreme Court. Gonzalez's case taps into another controversial topic within the Communications Decency Act, which is Section 230, which has a provision tucked inside the law, otherwise known as Section 230, that says no provider or user of an interactive computer service shall be treated as the publisher or speaker of any information provided by another information content provider. And I'll explain where this started originally and what the purpose of it was.
Yeah. Again,
the road to hell,
of course,
is clearly always paved with great intentions.
Gets into the publisher platform. This debate.
Yes. The law has seen criticism from Democrats and Republicans who argue it grants too much power to social media companies and says it favors one party over the other concerning censoring or bolstering content. Former Congressman Justin Amish tweeted, regime, Republican and Democrats want to destroy Section 230 because it protects freedom of speech. Dismantling 230 will lead to more censorship of speech that challenges their authority, giving those in power more influence and control over public discourse. Marsha Blackburn said, for too long, big tech used 230 as a shield to avoid accountability for its decisions, including the hosting of child sex abuse material, violent content, removal of conservative content. NetChoice, a trade group for tech corporations, said, without moderation, the internet will become a constant cesspool filled with vile content of all sorts and making it easier for things like terrorist recruitment. The Washington Examiner says 230 is the foundation that today's internet is built on, supporting both speech online and the ability of internet platforms to take down harmful content. Eroding that wouldn't just impact large platforms, it would hammer smaller websites from community newspapers to niche blogs. You guys can't be trusted.
Yeah, that's the scariest part of it. Exactly. You can't have the keys to the car.
No. And when you're talking about hate speech, they always bring up hate speech. The problem is the definition of hate speech, their definition is arbitrary and one-sided. Mm-hmm. And if you're looking at the Communications Decency Act, just for those that don't know, this was a problem they ran into when you first started seeing message boards and comment sections. So the Detroit Free Press would have an article and then you could comment below.
Yep.
YouTube, same way. You watch a YouTube video and there's tens of thousands of comments. Well, if you were just a platform, all that stuff flies. If you're trying to edit some of that stuff, we don't want this comment on here. Well, now you're making editorial decisions. So you're not a platform anymore.
You're a publisher.
You're a publisher, right? And so 230, what it was meant to do was these companies early on were saying, look, we don't want to be a publisher. We don't want to be held to account for all this stuff. But at the same time,
if somebody comes on there and says, go fuck yourself, I'm going to kill your babies, they have the.
It wasn't even that originally.
Okay.
That's more what they do now.
Yeah.
And saying, oh, it's harmful content. Like, well, who's to say what's harmful? One man's trash, What it was meant to do, because early on, those comment sections, people knew people were reading them, and so they would spam porn them.
Yeah.
And so there's tons of spam porn. And it was like, this is becoming ridiculous. One person makes a comment, and then the next 80 comments are all fucking spam porn, trying to lure people into buying some XXX video, whatever. And it's like, we want to clean this stuff up, but we don't want to have the liability of being a publisher, because now we're making editorial decisions to remove this stuff.
Yeah.
So they carved out part of this Decency Act, the Communications Decency Act. They carved out Section 230, which granted them the right to clean up some of those sections. Well, of course, that sounds reasonable, right?
Yeah, at the time.
At the time, you go, well, I don't want my fucking 12-year-old getting porn spammed to death because he's watching a fucking Rubik's Cube video, and now there's 800 fucking porn websites popping up. So we want them to be able to take that down. Well, under that protection, what they've started to do is go, well, we have to protect people not just from porn, but from hate speech. Well, what's hate speech?
Whatever
Let's go, Brandon. Let's go, Brandon. I love Trump. Trump 2020 is hate speech.
Technically.
That's not only hate speech, but it's violence. I don't agree with everything the fucking T's say in the LGBT community.
Gone.
Violence.
Yep.
You could, that could lead them to suicide. Not having 100% support from you. So what was meant to do a nice thing and made sense to everybody leaves you a legal window to do all this other bullshit.
The old loophole.
Yeah. So it works, man, and it's terrifying.
Give them an inch. That's the way it works, man.
So no matter which way the Supreme Court goes on this, I'm sure that it will be fucked with somehow.
Of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there'll be a new loophole.
Yeah.
Every loophole has a loophole.
It does. Oh, God.
Hey, this part of the show is brought to you by Janet Davis Cleaners on Woodward and Berkeley. It's family owned since 1938, and they offer free pickup and delivery. They use only the best environmentally friendly cleaning methods, meaning it's guaranteed odor free. They have an intact button guarantee, means no broken buttons for you. This is a full service dry cleaners, casual clothes, work clothes, wedding gowns, as well as sheets, comforters, duvet covers, tablecloths, and more. Visit
I need their services right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Get some. Janet Davis. Post haste.
Love it.
Hey, visit janetdaviscleaners.com or call them at 248-543-0340. Mention TDC, that's us, and get $20 off your first home pickup.
Nice. And ask them about the Clarks, Mike Clark and Trish.
Sure.
They were
stories.
using them for 20-plus years. So he could probably tell you, whatever secrets the Clarks
I hope
are trying
not.
to withhold.
Nope, I hope not. I hope
they'd be like, oh yeah, here's what I guarantee.
I don't need a dry cleaner with loose lips.
Here's
okay?
what
I need a dry cleaner that can keep a fucking secret.
Clark would pass out with a
and get out blood.
cigarette in his hand.
Yeah.
And he and I would trade stories all the time about being fucking hammered, high as shit. Pass out with a cigarette in her hand in bed, and then just drop it on the floor. Yeah. And he had beautiful hardwood floors, and they were just fucking burned. Like there'd be like a full black,
the whole
full length cigarette. It's like,
man, I thought that stuff would go out when if you didn't hit it right away. This is
bitch. He'd fucking take pictures of it and show me, or drop it in bed and light our sheets on fire. It was like, dude. So I imagine the cleaners, they could go, oh yeah,
again
His sheets look polka dotted because there were so many fucking holes in them from burning cigarettes. I'm not saying they're going to narc him out.
I need tight-lipped dry cleaners. That's it.
You don't want the dry cleaners taking a black light to your sheets and then bragging to everybody about.
No.
Oh,
man,
man,
look at the shot radius on this guy.
This guy. I mean,
the arc.
He's got a catch radius like fucking Calvin Johnson. Jesus.
Think of smoking today. I saw a fucking lady next to me in a car smoking, fine.
Yeah.
And eating.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
You smoke and eat at the same time?
Sure, why not?
Really? I mean, I smoked for a long...
really.
No, I mean, like, that was... I can't remember ever doing that. Like, maybe if I was like had a cigarette and like I have a bite of something, but like full on like hit that, eat a drink of this, drink, to smoke the cigarette. I was like, man, like a cigarette after a meal.
Yeah,
of course,
yeah.
that was the best cigarette. But
Yeah,
like literally,
that
like,
is odd.
It seemed really odd to me. Like I was watching it go down and going, I don't ever remember eating while I was making food taste like shit.
Now, if you're smoking, you don't care about that.
No.
You know, you remember though that you didn't care. It wasn't disgusting to you while you were doing it. But back in the day when you could smoke in restaurants, it was not uncommon to have cigarettes going at the table while you're eating.
I don't know. I mean, while you're eating though, that just seemed odd to me. I mean, maybe it's a normal thing. I was trying to.
I don't think it's a normal thing.
Yeah,
but
I just don't. I mean, you could eat and then smoke and then eat and then smoke.
Yeah.
I mean, I could picture myself going, oh, food's here.
Yeah.
Putting that out.
Remember lighting a cigarette to get your food there?
Right? It was like going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Like that's how you got it here faster.
Yeah, it's like, God, it's taking forever to get our food.
There you go.
All right.
Oh, see, perfect. There you go. Awesome. Thank you.
And then you'd put it out. You'd put out a fully lit
put out
cigarette.
a brand new fucking cigarette to eat. That's how weird it seemed to me.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this bitch is just sitting here eating, taking turns between a burger and a fucking fag.
Is there food you can smoke while you eat? Like if you're having
Coffee. You know, that's different.
Yeah, that goes like that's like peanut butter and
That's
chocolate.
hand in glove. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean like if you're having dips during the game. You know, you got a spinach dip there.
Maybe. I mean,
have a
because you're just
couple.
taking a bite. But
Right.
I mean, I still just, I don't know. It just seems so weird to me. Like,
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, not like I'd have a cigarette and be like, oh, here, taste this. Like, oh, no, I can't. I'll finish
Enjoying
this
my
first.
cigarette first.
Yeah. But not like consciously eating. I mean, maybe she's
Yeah.
in a time crunch. Right? Maybe.
Maybe.
I got 7 minutes to get a cigarette and a fucking Happy Meal down.
That could be. That could be.
But yeah, I don't know. It just struck me as odd today, the things I see.
Okay, let's see. More dissent. Let me see if this is. Oh, I got a couple good ones for you
Okay.
coming up.
Yay.
Governor Gavin Newsom.
California's finest.
Oh yeah, finest. Very, very proud of Gavin Newsom.
Yep.
He signed several bills this past week with conflicting messages on freedom of speech and censorship. Well, what do you know? There's a shocker. Friday, he signed a measure into law that restricts the use of creative expression in court when it comes to criminal proceedings. The court must now take other items into consideration when someone wants to use a form of creative expression as evidence. I love it. I hope people are watching us on YouTube right now. Yeah, look at Aunt Rubes. Look at her.
Thought I'd throw it up there.
Artists of all kinds should be able to create without the fear of unfair and prejudicial prosecution, Newsom said in a statement. California's culture and entertainment industry set trends around the world, and it's fitting that our state is taking a nation-leading role to protect creative expression and ensure that artists are not criminalized under biased politics. Mm-hmm. I think this has to do with Young Thug. Is that his name? Is that the rapper?
I'm sure, yeah. I mean, it rings a bell.
If there's not a Young Thug, there should be a Young Thug.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. There's a young everything.
I think he's been indicted in a lawsuit in like Georgia
Okay.
for rap lyrics.
Uh-oh.
Like 58 people.
What dude say?
Something about being in a gang and killing everybody and
Okay.
shit like that.
All right.
And
They
so-
using that as an admission of guilt, a confession?
Something like that. Or like his lyrics are lining up. I wish I knew more about it. I don't, but I think that's kind of the basis for
Okay.
this, where it's like, you can't go after someone's artistic expression, blah, 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 which I sort of agree with.
Yeah.
You know, like if
Right.
someone's just talking shit in a rap
Yeah.
song, like I'm fine.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I shot that motherfucker. Like, oh, we're investigating you for murder, sir.
Yeah.
We
But
got
if,
some
but if
questions
you
for
really
you.
did shoot
Who
that
did you shoot?
Yeah. If you really did shoot that motherfucker,
Then
it's
you
like,
don't say it in your fucking rap.
yeah, be smart. Come on, smarten up. In the law, creative expression doesn't only apply to rap lyrics, although that is the application that has garnered the most interest. It is specific as the expression or application of creativity or imagination in the production or arrangement of forms, sounds, words, movements, or symbols, including, but not limited to, music, dance, performance art, visual art, poetry, lit, film, and other such objects or media. Members of the music industry have said such measures are necessary, especially since rapper Young Thug has been indicted in Georgia with some of his lyrics used in the indictment. And I want to say they're gang related.
Okay.
Something about murder.
Murder. Kill.
Today, we celebrate an important victory for music creators in the state of California. Silencing any genre or form of artistic expression is a violation against all music people. The history that's been made in California today will help pave the way forward to fight and protect creative freedom nationwide, CEO of the Recording Academy, Harvey Mason Jr., noted. On the other side of the topic of expression, Newsom signed a separate bill into law Friday that would limit the speech of physicians regarding COVID.
Oh, okay.
It's
so right in there.
We're all about free speech for rappers. But what a dude! You won't even believe this. The law states, the law states that it will be unprofessional conduct for a physician and surgeon to disseminate misinformation or disinformation related to COVID-19, including false or misleading info regarding the nature and risks of the virus, its prevention, and its treatment, and the development, safety, and effectiveness of COVID-19 vaccines.
Based on who? Science? I mean, Fauci?
Yeah, or whatever the mainstream narrative is. Disinformation is defined as misinformation that the licensee deliberately disseminated with malicious intent or an intent to mislead. So any dissent from mainstream narrative is now dis or misinformation in California, essentially.
Yeah, we already knew that.
Misinformation is clarified to mean false information that is contradicted by contemporary scientific consensus, contrary to the standard of care.
Consensus.
Consensus. You caught the key word.
Yes, indeed.
Consensus.
Yeah, that we all agree of that's what it is. So you're automatically wrong.
Right. So we all agree that we're making boatloads of money off this vaccine. We're our board at Pfizer and Moderna are thrilled with us. We're making money by the billions we've never seen or even dreamt of. So the large consensus is we really enjoy this money we're making. So anybody that says anything negative about one of these products, misinformer, disinformer, is that how you want things done?
No.
Yeah.
You're asking me? God, no. Hell no. Fuck no. But
doctors who carry out misconduct could be at risk to lose their license to practice in California. Think about that threat.
Yeah.
If you go against the mainstream fucking narrative about COVID or its vaccines or treatments at all, if you go against that, if you come out publicly on a YouTube channel and go, here's why I think this is bullshit and blah, 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 I'm bringing receipts and showing my work.
Yeah.
Nope, doesn't count. These guys all over here say that that this is the truth and reality.
They've already decided.
Yeah, because science, what we do know about science is it's never fluid. It never changes.
Never.
With new incoming information. The science is that. And it's Dr. Fauci, I believe, is the science.
He is science.
He is science.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dr. Science Fauci.
Newsom reportedly said, to be clear, this bill does not apply to any speech outside of discussions related to COVID-19 treatment within a direct physician-patient relationship. So they stand saying his allegiance to free expression of rappers and artists does not appear to extend to physicians in the state. That's terrifying.
That is a bit of an oxymoron there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow. So they want to get it in the law books. Yeah. So it's not good enough to just cancel someone's...
Your artistic expression is one thing, but your professional opinion is not.
Holy shit. Unreal,
yeah,
man.
Bizarro world, man.
We are in Bizarro world.
Yep.
Some more on that, but I want to get to mascots, specifically NBA mascots. Do you have a favorite mascot over the years? I do.
You know what? No, not really.
The chicken. San Diego
chicken. I mean, that's a classic.
It's so good. When we were young, I mean, the shit he would do.
Yeah, but no.
Who's the Philly one? Not the new Fanatic. Not that one.
The original. The
Phillies.
Yeah.
Guy with the green beak.
Yep. What was he?
Big, I don't know.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, a report on the salaries of the NBA's top mascots.
Okay.
All right. Now we're talking, right?
Let's see what kind of loot these kids are bringing home.
What do you think for that?
What
would you think a mascot? Now, granted, an NBA, we're not talking about, a farm team.
Yeah, real one. I bet you I bet you it's $200,000 a year.
Wow. See, I would have thought 30 grand a year.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
They're pretty high profile.
Yes. So, report from the Sports Business Journal found that Rocky the Mountain Lion, which is the Denver Nuggets mascot, is the highest mascot in the league, highest paid mascot in the league, $625,000 a year.
Oh, shit.
I don't even know who Rocky the Mountain Lion is.
He's yoked.
Is he one that jumps on the mini trampoline and dunks and all that?
Yep. I'm going through I have the top 25
mascots,
pro sports mascot power rankings.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you got? What did you say? How many? The top
25, yeah. So I got to
top
get
25.
down to. Oh, here's
Do we have any mascots?
They have Rocky at number 23.
Yeah, well, that son of a bitch is making $625,000 a year.
Yeah. This
What do we have in Detroit, mascot wise?
we have Paws.
Pause. Yep.
Yep. Rory the Lion.
Rory the Lion. Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Yep.
I don't.
Sparty's pretty up there.
Sparty's a great one.
He's
yeah.
in a lot of those ESPN commercials.
Yeah, definitely. He's iconic.
Yep.
We don't have. I don't think there's anything
the
officially
Wings?
for the Wings. I mean, no, I don't
The
think
Pistons.
so. Pistons had the horse guy for a minute.
Oh
didn't
yeah,
they?
and they had the mini horse. They had some like fucking midget
Yeah.
mini horse during the 2010 run and all that. Those years.
Yep.
I can't remember what they called it. The average NBA mascot, according to this report, makes around 60 grand a year,
Okay.
which
yeah.
is not bad.
No.
The next 5 highest paid mascots include Harry the Hawk, the Atlanta Hawks.
All right.
Is that an actual hawk, or I guess Harry the Hawk runs around the stadium?
Yeah.
He makes about 600 grand a year.
Okay.
Barry the Bull, Chicago Bulls mascot,
Yep. Oh,
recognizable as shit.
Yep.
He makes $400,000 a year. This one, this guy's ought to have a lawsuit coming. This next one, Go the Gorilla, the Phoenix Suns mascot.
Oh.
That son of a bitch.
Yeah.
When he finds out that, Harry the Hawk is making 600 grand.
Yeah, he's due.
Rocky the Mountain Lion making 625. He's going to be furious. That son of a bitch makes 200 grand a year. That's it.
Huh. He's getting robbed. Time to renegotiate that contract.
Dude, that guy was on he was on Sports Center's top 10 all the time.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flying through the air, the gorilla and Duncan. He's a madman.
Yep.
You're telling me he makes less than a third what Rocky the Mountain Lion? Can you pull up Rocky the Mountain Lion? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I got him up.
This is infuriating. Hugo the Hornet, the Charlotte Hornets mascot, makes about 100 grand.
So there's your gorilla.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a legend.
Yep. So here, we'll go through the this is what they have as their top 25, and which is nobody that you even mentioned here. I gotta get down to the fucking number one here, sorry.
All right.
So number one, Philly Fanatic.
Yeah, the Philly Fanatic.
Can't argue with that, right? I mean,
Doesn't he have the thing that pops out of his nose and blah, 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 blah?
Yeah, I think so. It's consensus number one pick right there.
So that's the number one as far as like
this
mascots
is their power
go?
ranking. I don't know what they're basing this on.
Yeah,
Okay?
because is the chicken still in action? I
don't
feel like the
think so.
San Diego
I
chicken
don't
was
think it's-
so dope.
Yeah, I don't think it's.
But that was like 80s,
Now
90s.
they have a monk now, don't they? The Padres, friar.
Do they?
No, I don't think so.
So you got the Fanatic at one.
At one, and then Jackson DeVille,
Okay, Jacksonville
the Jaguars. Yep,
That's their number two.
yep, and then the Toronto Raptors, number 3.
Okay.
Yuppie from the Montreal Canadiens.
Yep.
Mr.
Mets.
Met.
Mr. Met.
Mr.
Yeah.
Met,
Yeah, that's a
yeah.
pretty famous one.
For sure.
He's in a lot of those ESPN commercials too.
The sausages,
Yeah.
sausage races.
Wait.
That's in Milwaukee. Where do they do the sausage races?
Oh, see, I thought they kind of traveled with them. No,
Oh,
maybe you're right. Maybe they're just
Let's
in
see. Yeah, Milwaukee Brewers, the racing sausages. There you go. Casey Wolf.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Okay, yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs. You got to have a wolf because you can't have a chief.
No.
This is Bernie from the Miami Heat.
Of course, they spell his name Burnie.
Boston Wally the Green Monster.
All right, I didn't know that was a thing, but okay.
Yeah. And then the Jazz Bear for Utah.
Okay.
And that rounds out your top 10. So, I mean, you got to go deep to get to the Viking
Oh,
guy.
the Viking dude. Yeah,
Ragnar, the Viking.
Ragnar, yeah.
Who's this guy? Pirate Parrot from Pittsburgh Pirates.
All right.
Didn't even know you can't have a pirate, apparently.
The gorilla.
There's your gorilla at
Yep.
13. Big Red. It's Cincinnati Reds. St. Louis Cardinals. Okay.
Yeah.
There's your bull. He's already Benny the Bull, all the way
Benny
at
the Bull,
15.
yeah.
So I got to question these numbers here, man. Oh, there's your
the
Cincinnati
Cincinnati
Reds,
Red.
Mr. Red Legs.
So
Look at the
does
Kitterman on that
pause?
fucking
Yeah,
guy.
that's a great Kitterman.
Yeah.
Damn.
Impressive.
So is there a does pause make it anywhere in there?
Hell no.
Oh,
Penguin for the iceberg.
Iceberg.
Grizz. Look at that. That's pretty dope. Look at that
yeah,
guy.
he looks pretty mean.
Yeah, right?
That would scare the shit out of most kids, though.
Yeah, the
Is that
Hornet.
the Memphis Grizzlies?
Hugo the Hornet. Yeah, Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah. Okay. Hugo the Hornet was in here. He makes $100,000.
Oh, okay.
Nordy, and then who's that?
We got
Pittsburgh
this,
Steelers.
Steely McBeam.
Okay.
Pittsburgh Steelers guy.
I get it.
The Presidents at the Washington Nationals there.
Yeah.
And then rounding out is here's your boy, Rocky, number fucking 23 on the list.
Wow.
Number 23 on the power rankings.
What does he do? Read what. See what it says there. Back in
Okay.
08, Nuggets mascot Rocky was inducted into the Mascot Hall of Fame, which apparently exists, and was named the most awesome mascot by Cartoon Network. He's obviously doing something right to be
That's
highly
high
decorated.
praise.
Yeah. Rocky isn't afraid to go the extra mile in his performance, sometimes to his own detriment. In November 13, he lost consciousness during a stunt. Scary moment for fans on hand to witness his limp body lowered from the rafters and laid on the floor. Rocky took a kick to the face from Rocket's big man Dwight Howard. In-game antics aside, off the court, Rocky has distinguished himself as a rogue political activist, something else rare in the mascot game. He surprised his bosses by making an unsanctioned, unpaid appearance at a state GOP rally. Even if you don't agree with his policies, you have to admit there's something fundamentally amusing about putting mascots in real-world situations. Blah.
All right. Well, there you go.
There you go. I had no idea they could make that kind of money.
No, neither did I. I should up my game here a little bit.
Right?
Yeah, I have to
Wow.
really miss my calling, I think.
Yeah. You would have been good. I could see you doing that.
Yeah.
Staying with sports for a minute.
I had to get charged for yelled at for not shaking a black kid's hand or something, not high-fiving. Right?
Yeah,
We
you'd be
brought
that
up on
guy.
charges. I couldn't see him.
I couldn't see him. Meanwhile, there's video of you like flipping him off with a giant paw,
No.
hugging little white girls, and then
No,
double birding the black kid.
No way. I'd be a hockey mascot.
Yeah.
It wouldn't happen.
Tom Brady and Giselle Bundchen
Yeah.
appear to be headed for Splitsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's going to be on the market.
I have no interest in Giselle Bundchen. Honest to God. Like,
Yeah, she's probably a pain in the ass.
oh, kidding me? She's worth almost as much as he is, or maybe more than he is.
Yeah.
He's worth $250 million. She shakes her ass on a runway, and she's worth $250 million.
Yeah, he's the GOAT, the NFL.
He's the GOAT, literally. How the hell does that chick rack up that kind of dough?
I guess it pays to have that kind of ass.
Wow. So this is according to the New York Post. They both retained divorce lawyers. Rumors have flown for weeks that the two were living apart following an epic fight and are now mulling over how they would divide up their empire. How about whatever you came with, you leave with?
Oh, wouldn't that be nice?
I get it when it's just, losers like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Peons in the world. And it's like, well,
Neither one of you are going to be hurting, so.
right. You're both. How about you take the $250 you showed up with, you take the $250 you showed up with, and you both fuck off?
Yeah.
Like, how hard is this?
What if
Oh,
there's
I'll
a
take the
prenup?
Paris chalet. You get the fucking, the place in wherever. I'll take the Miami mansion. You take the California one.
Should
is
be
easy.
fairly easy.
Yeah.
It's about the kids, man.
I don't think there will be any coming back now. They both have lawyers and are looking at what a split would entail, who gets what, and what the finances will be. The pair is assessing how they would divide up their $26 million property portfolio. I would think they would have more than $26 million in properties. Those two?
Yeah, but I mean, they're not. I mean, they've also been a family, so it's not
Yeah.
like they got 10 houses all over the place. They
Well, I'll tell you what they've got. They've got a $17 million home on Indian Creek Island in Miami. That's famously known as Billionaire's Bunker.
Yep.
I think that's where Tiger Woods is and all those. A condo in Tribeca, in the Tribeca building in New York City, worth $3.6 million.
That's her fucking shag shack.
Yeah, probably.
She's in there
Yeah.
strutting her ass on the runway.
They have a $5.7 million property at Mike Meldman's exclusive Yellowstone Club in Montana.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Dude, by the way, I don't know if I've talked about this, but if you're not watching Yellowstone, you need to be.
Okay.
It's the best fucking show out there. Honest to God. It's so good.
What's the chick's name? The badass blonde chick.
Beth.
Beth, yeah.
Oh.
So that thing was like, just let Beth be on The View for one day, please.
She's so badass.
Yeah.
So badass. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about Yellowstone. I tell you where to watch it, but I don't even know where I'm watching it. Paramount Plus, Peacock, whatever it is.
You can find it.
But Costner, it's so good. I know I've talked to some people, they're like, dude, it's like a country western thing. I'm like, no, it's not. No, it's not at all.
Yeah.
It's based in that, but what the landscape, the cinematography, it's incredible, and the story is just awesome. So I would love to have a property like that at Yellowstone Club in Montana. Brady's personal net worth ballooned to about $250 million in the last year, with help from some lucrative endorsement deals with brands like Under Armour, Sam Adams, and Tag Heuer. So he went from 180 to 250
Okay.
from those endorsements. Her fortune is believed to be in a similar range, if not higher. She has managed to continue to bring in formidable salaries since her days as a Victoria's Secret model. I had no idea a Victoria's Secret model could make that kind of loot.
I mean, the top ones, I mean, it's not just them. I mean, not Victoria's Secret. I'm sure they just go from runway to runway to runway to runway.
Yeah.
They're just all over.
Yeah.
They get paid, and they obviously get paid well. And when you're at the top of your craft,
Still,
it pays.
$250 million.
Yeah.
By the way,
And I couldn't pick her out of a fucking lineup. I mean,
No,
if she was
no.
in my face, I would not know who the fuck she was.
No, probably
and
not.
I couldn't name a single thing that she's done,
Promoted or done?
promoted or anything.
Yeah.
Like an ad or anything.
no.
I know she was a Victoria's Secret model, but I've never looked at her fucking face.
No. So a lot of people thought Brady re-entering the NFL was a big problem. That was the bone of contention.
Yeah, that
He
was supposedly their big fight. That
Yeah.
he was supposed to be done. And
he was with the family and blah, blah, blah. But
he got home and spent some time with her and was like, fuck this.
30 days with her, and he was like, no.
Yeah. Hey, Bruce, you still got a spot for me?
Daily Mail can confirm, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah, and so
that's a statement.
This is real stuff here. However, their rift is completely unrelated to Brady's football career. Daily Mail can confirm. Bunchen is her husband's #1 cheerleader and said she would not care if he played until he was in his 50s, but the friction between the two has still resulted in them living apart from one another. Apparently, the fact that they've been living apart is that's tough.
That is
That's
tough.
By the way, for someone like Tom Brady, again, Leo DiCaprio rule.
Yeah.
Like you're driving a car from the 1980s, dude.
Yeah. She's keeping it together. That's a fucking
Still,
Yeah,
you're the GOAT.
that's a classic Mustang he's got there. That's,
You know how many classic Mustangs there are out there with less miles on them?
okay.
I'm just saying,
It's the mother of his children, brother.
a mother of a couple of his children.
Yeah.
He's got Bridget Moynihan too.
Yeah,
which the kid he likes to make out with, Jack,
Yeah.
is with Moynihan. Are any of those kids going to grow up to be the next GOAT?
No.
No,
God, no.
They're not going to have that chip.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Supposedly he's got a son that's supposed to be pretty good, I think, right? One of them's
I know
like
Montana's kids flamed out.
I know.
You know, it's
No,
like
I think I saw something about that he got a son that is a quarterback. How good he is, how old he is, I don't fucking know. But
Brady does.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would be about that age. Look up Jack Brady. See if that's who they're talking about. Because I think he's the oldest. But yeah, Brady wasn't born with
God-given
the God-given gifts that you think of when you're talking about like LeBron James's kid or Shaquille O'Neal's kid is probably going to be unbelievable.
Yeah.
can Brady give the fucking heart that he was born with to that kid, or the chip on the shoulder? There's no way.
Probably not.
No. They're going to run into what Montana's kids ran into. I think Montana's kid, Nate Montana, maybe, was a quarterback briefly at Notre Dame.
Okay.
But it was like, yeah, you're no Joe Montana.
Yeah, he's a 15-year-old quarterback on his high school football team.
Is he starting? Is he good, does it say? I know.
Yeah, I have to read the whole story.
Listen there, buy T-shirts, tank tops. By the way, I will have you know, the bill has been paid, and the T-shirts are shipping this week for members. That is squared.
All right.
Hot dog. So we have done our part. We have collected all the addresses. We've collected all the names. We've collected all the men's and women's sizes.
Yeah.
And that shit should be going out post-haste.
And don't try any of that bullshit like you did with the stickers.
Yeah.
I didn't get my sticker.
Fucking Gravit hit me up, okay? And I'm pretty sure I mailed him one, but he's claiming I didn't. I don't know.
Okay.
You know.
That's okay. But yeah.
Just kidding.
You're stuck with it.
He's such a good guy. He's like, oh, man, I don't want to bother you. I'm like, dude, it's no bother. I'm sitting here anyways.
Just saying, don't try that shit with the shirts. That's all I'm saying.
Exactly. We're going to keep fucking real good records.
Yep.
You can buy merch, T-shirts, tank tops, sweatshirts there at radiofor1.com. Amazon link, Amazon Canada. Just click there, shop like you would. Please, we're desperate for you guys to do that. As we get into the holiday season, don't forget about your friends at TDC. Just go click on those Amazon links, shop as normal for all your holiday shopping, back to school stuff. All of it helps. They give us a little kickback. It makes it worth our while. My Pillow, promo code TDC. Whoever it was that spent the ridiculous amount of money you did, Godspeed. You may have actually saved this show for a little while. You can link to our Patreon page. Sign up to be a Patreon member. MyStore.com for the coffee, by the way, for the Lindell, for the My Coffee. Great stuff. Yes. Let's see. Dear Mike, for your belated birthday dinner, of course, you can order a filet. Prayers for you on this Monday. Peace out, buddy. Sincerely, Forey Millsau. This is the guy that's invited us to his family's restaurant for the best prime rib in town.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, forgot about it. And so it's in succession. So he sent another couple messages. Dear Mike, hope you and T-Roy are hanging in there. Miss your weekly insight, brother. So this is from last week when I was out a couple days.
Getting scared.
Yeah. It's October. Reach out for your filet and best prime rib in town for your birthday. Reach out anytime to make it happen. Sincerely, Forey.
Okay.
Color me soup stupid. Your wisdom just hit the podcast slot. I don't know what that means.
I don't know.
Color me soup stupid. I'm assuming that's a Biden reference.
Maybe,
but they also own a restaurant, so...
But then you're...
Thank you, sir. You will have a lava birthday cake with strawberries after your meal. Sincerely, Forey.
Okay.
Okay.
A little confused on that one. We could get a little clarification there, but we could ask him
this one. Let's get this on the books.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go. He said we could have a party of 10, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Of course. Why wouldn't we?
I don't know.
Like we're just going solo.
No, we're not going to look like some homo couple in there. There's anything wrong with that. We can bring 2 people, right? One for you, one for me.
I would hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Just making sure. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to go with yet. I just inquired about the filet.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I at least peruse the menu before I make a decision.
Goddamn right. Yeah. In fact, give us the restaurant name again so we can peruse the menu. I don't know if it's on there. We'll give them a plug. All right. Let's go take care of the roofs upstairs. Hope people were watching earlier and could see her on the couch fucking going nuts. Good move,
That's the girl.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging with us today. We certainly appreciate it. And we'll be back tomorrow. We will see you then.